Greetings, everybody. Today I don't want to talk about it at all. A lot of people ask me the question, who are they? Who is in power? We are all in power. We are all empowered. And there is an answer to the question. There's always a echo down the chamber. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. I don't really feel good talking about this because I've talked about it half of my life, and every time I talk about it, something very strange happens in my life. So, who are they? Well, firstly, to understand who somebody is, there's a saying, trust a man not by his words, but by his actions. So, what are the actions of they? Well, the actions of they are inquisitions, wars, Holocaust, which in Latin Holocaust means fire ritual. Firstly, we must understand what the events are, not what we are told that they are. So what is being conducted openly is ritual, and it is not political, it is spiritual warfare, because these people hold a doctrine, a spiritual doctrine, and they must uphold these doctrines. So the doctrine of they is they are missionaries, and a missionary is sent off to do the work on the mission that they are sent. Who sent them? Well, we know that all of the indigenous slaughtering sites, Holocaust sites, ritual sites of they're called missions. They're still called missions, but people don't connect what the missions are. So what the missions are is to overthrow sovereignty in every nation, though people very often become confused with what sovereignty is. Sovereignty is understanding the plant domain, the animal domain, the cosmic domain, the human domain, all of the domains that were known by the tribal people. This knowledge is wisdom, and it forms sovereignty, because knowledge forms sovereignty. So what I want to do is I want to read a oath of induction, which is ratified by the Pope in service of the Pope, His Holiness, as he is referred to within the oath of induction. And this oath of induction is recognized by Washington Congress. So it is a legal, consented oath of induction. So, where did the Inquisitions come from? In the 15th century, there was an event that was called the Reformation. And the Reformation was a majority of the world coming together as a collective to reform. And what the reforming was against the will of who was bringing the Inquisitions. So people knew what was coming, and they rebelled. And This historically was known as the Reformation of the 16th century. So what the Pope did was the Pope organized a group of men called the Propaganda. And this is the first time this word was ever used in history. There was no such thing as propaganda for what we know it today, but the word is, in the title, pro-pagan, propaganda. So what the Propaganda was a group of missionaries organized by the papacy in Rome to go out and to perform duties in allegiance to Rome. And so the Counter-Reformation was this group of members, the Propaganda, and a los Sombrados, which in Spanish means the illuminated ones. They went off and they performed duties, reforming anybody who countered Rome, who went against the Roman oppression, because people rose up to power in large numbers, as we see today, and they pointed the finger directly at Rome and they said, that is the evil causing every unrest on the planet. Much like what we see today, but people today are pointing the fingers in the wrong direction. So if you go to any bookstore, you will not find any information at all on the Counter-Reformation because they have deleted it. One of the biggest book burnings in history, if you had information or any books written on the Counter-Reformation, you were not warned. It was common knowledge that if you had this information, you were burnt at the stake on the fire and the book was tied around your neck. This is what happened to all of the authors who wrote these books. They had the books tied around their neck and they were thrown in the fire. Very symbolic, very ritualistic. So a los Sombrados, the illuminated ones, they held their title as this society for 3 to 4 years. And all of the Protestants and all of the Christians, people who at the time they knew a lot about astrology and why things were as they were and as they are, and they came together to take down Rome for what we do not know it as today. So what happened was every person who reformed, they were not put into detainment camps, they were put in the fire pits. And we saw this happen all around the world during the world wars. These same people that had this same knowledge, removing the last knowers of society. So there are men who are organized by the Holy See of Rome to go to every secondhand bookstore and to scour the internet to still today remove any book on the counter-reform of Rome. Those men are theologians, they are poets, they understand writing, and they know how to change written history into a text that more circumstantially suits their cause today. So I want to read the text of the oath. And the oath is what you must read to become one of the illuminated ones, who are today now known as the Society of Jesus Christ. They are the bringers of the French Revolution, both of the world wars, the Cold War, what happened in Vietnam. No one talks about the 15,000 monks that were executed by the Roman soldiers. Everybody's got their own views on what happened during the wars. They're wrong, because history is deceptive, and without the true history, you won't know why you're here today. So, first you must mention your name, and you state that you, as the coming Jesuit, now in the presence of Almighty God, the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Blessed Saint John the Baptist, the holy apostles Saint Peter and Saint Paul, and all of the saints, sacred hosts of heaven, and to you, my ghostly father, the Superior General of the Society of Jesus, Lucifer, founded by Ignatius Loyola in the pontification of Paul III, and continued to the present, do by the womb of the Virgin, the matrix of God, and to the rod of Jesus Christ, declare and swear that His Holiness, the Pope, is Christ's vice-regent. Is Christ. The Pope is Christ. And is the true and only head of the Catholic or Universal Church. They love the term Universal Church because very soon they will be the only church in the world, and the Universal Church throughout the earth, and that by virtue of the keys of binding and loosing, giving to His Holiness by my Saviour, Jesus Christ, He hath power to depose heretical kings, princes, states, commonwealths, and governments, and they may be safely destroyed. So what that means is, if anybody is not in coordinates with the Roman institution of what some might call Catholicism, the followers of that religion are the Goyim. The non-initiated, they're referred to as the Goyim. They may safely be destroyed. Anyone who has their own ideals into the coming new world, they may be safely destroyed. Therefore, to the utmost of my power, I will defend this doctrine of His Holiness, right and custom against all usurpers of the heretical or Protestant authority whatever, especially the Lutheran Church of Germany, Holland, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway, and the now pretended authority and churches of England and Scotland, and the branches of same now established in Ireland and on the continent of America and elsewhere, and all adherents in regard that they may be usurped and heretical opposing the Sacred Mother Church of Rome, I do now pronounce and disown any allegiance as due to any heretical king, prince, or state, named Protestant or liberal, or obedience to any of their laws, magistrates, or officers. I do further declare the doctrine of the churches of England and Scotland, of the Calvinists, Huguenots, and others of the name of Protestants or Masons to be damnable, and they themselves to be damned who will not forsake the name. I do further declare that I will help, assist, and advise all or any of His Holiness agents in any place where I should be, in Switzerland, Germany, Holland, Ireland, or America, or in any other kingdom or territory I shall come to, and do my utmost to extirpate the heretical Protestant or Masonic doctrines, and to destroy all their pretended powers, legal or otherwise. I do furthermore promise and declare that, notwithstanding I am dispensed with to assume any religion heretical for the propagation of the Mother Church's interest, to keep secret and private all her agents' counsels from time to time. He's a Mason? No, he can't be. As they entrust me, and not to divulge directly or indirectly by word, writing or circumstances whatever, but to execute all that shall be proposed, given in charge, or discovered unto me by you, my ghostly father, or any of this sacred order. I do further promise and declare that I will have no opinion of my own, or will of my own, or any mental reservation whatever, even as a corpse or cadaver, but will unhesitatingly obey each and every command that I may receive from my superiors in the militia of the Pope and of Jesus Christ, that I will go to any part of the world whithersoever I may be sent, to the frozen regions of the north, jungles of India, to the centers of civilization of Europe, or to the wild haunts of the barbarous savages of America, without murmuring or repining, and will be submissive in all things whatsoever is communicated to me. Whatever I am told to do, I will do anything. I do further promise and declare that I will, when opportunity presents, make and wage relentless war, secretly and openly. They tell you what they do because it's in their doctrine and oath. Openly. Against all heretics, Protestants, and Masons, as I am directed to do, to extirpate them from the face of the whole earth, and that I will spare neither age, sex, nor condition, and that I will hang, burn, waste, boil, flay, strangle, and bury alive these infamous heretics, rip up the stomachs and wombs of their women, Society of Jesus Christ, and crush their infants' heads against the walls, in order to annihilate their execrable race, that when the same cannot be done openly, I will secretly use the poisonous cup, the strangulation cord, the steel of the poniard, or the leaden bullet, regardless of the honor, rank, dignity, or authority of the persons. Whatever may be their condition in life, either public or private, as I at any time may be directed to do so by any agents of the Pope or Superior of the Brotherhood of the Holy Father of Society of Jesus. So that's their doctrine. That's half of it. I'm not going to read any more because I'm not going to waste anybody's time. There's not too much that we need to know. So basically, they will stop at nothing to reform every country, to be under the arms of the Vatican. So all of the Catholics out there that are worshipping Catholicism, who created your religion? Joseph Smith, the founder of Mormonism. He's the founder of the Russellites. Joseph Smith's the founder of Mormonism. Charles Taze Russell's also a Mason. He's the founder of the Russellites, and he's the founder of the Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall. And what else have we got? Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard. He was the military general. He was a child book writer. He wrote many books for children, and he stated the easiest way to control the people is to create a religion. You could name any religion, and look at the founding member of that religion. They're buried in a Masonic graveyard right across from the Masonic Hall, and their gravestone is usually a pyramid with the Eye of Providence, whatever you want to give to that name. So I could talk all day about who they are, but the more important thing is who are we, because what they do not want us to know is who we are and why we came, and that is the bigger picture, because we are, as we came, highly intelligible, and they know with a small amount of intelligence they can step us outside of self. So whatever we want to do in life, we can do it. And everything that they try to do, they do it. They do it against our will, and they give us a smokescreen to believe that there's something happening outside of ourselves. There's not. I hope this helps to answer the question of who are they, because the Inquisitions didn't stop, and we are opposed to secret societies, and that means something, because if you don't know that, you don't know anything about why we're in the situation that we're in today, and without knowledge, we are without power.